What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka All Fires. Now, just days ago here at the channel, we talked about the latest update from industry insider Casey Walsh that indicated Captain America 4 Brave New World had already had its follow-up film greenlit at Marvel Studios and was in pre-production, and that perhaps it could finally be the long-awaited World War Hulk project that's been in the rumor mill since 2021. Now, there's always been one huge obstacle standing between Marvel Studios and them doing another Hulk film since 2008, and that's of course the fact that the rights have been over at Universal alongside Namor's rights as well. And while there have been several rumors that perhaps the rights had already bounced back and silently at some point, there was no confirmation from anyone official that it had happened. Well, breaking late this afternoon, and this coming from one of the most trusted sources, it appears as though Marvel Studios has finally retained the rights to Hulk, paving the way for them to finally do a World War Hulk movie or any sort of solo Hulk project that they like. We're going to break down where this is coming from, exactly what they said, and why this is so exciting for the future of Marvel Studios. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. The next one is right around the corner with Secret Invasion. Again, all you got to do, be a sub, leave a comment if you want, stick around at the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so today's breaking news actually comes from Variety. Again, this is one of the most trusted Hollywood trades alongside Deadline and Hollywood Reporter. When they say something, it's as good as confirmed. Under the headline, Incredible Hulk is finally coming to Disney Plus, where they go on to report, quote, "The Incredible Hulk is smashing its way onto Disney Plus June 16th, the streaming service announced on Thursday. The film was initially released and distributed by Universal on June 13th, 2008, and the company held the rights to the title for 15 years. Now, in a notable shift, the rights have reverted back to Marvel Studios, leading to the film's release on Disney Plus." Now, of course, the timing of this is absolutely perfect because the upcoming Captain America 4 seems to include so many of the characters and storylines from that original 2008 film. And of course, speaking of which, since Edward Norton has been replaced with Mark Ruffalo, Marvel Studios notably hasn't been able to make a solo Hulk title. They've had to weave whatever sort of arcs they've wanted for the character into other films, as we saw with Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. But now the path is totally clear to them doing a World War Hulk film. Again, something that was rumored all the way back in 2021 with an article from Geeks Worldwide that talked about it being in pre-development, and it could be that Marvel Studios knew exactly when the rights would revert, and that's why we started hearing about it again right before this was announced today. Now, the World War Hulk project has already had some hallmarks show up in shows, and as we talked about in that previous video, She-Hulk introducing Skaar, his son, sending him back and forth to Sakaar, seems to be borrowing and or bending elements that would lead into a World War Hulk storyline. But the MCU, and in its current state, is sort of far from a place where the Illuminati, some of the characters that were included in what that storyline goes on to be, they're just not there. There's not enough on-ramp for it. It makes me think a couple of things that I'm very excited about. Number one, if they are truly developing a World War Hulk project, while a lot of people assume it'll be part of the multiverse saga, I think this is something that would extend even beyond that and feature as an event as we go past the multiverse saga when the mutants start being introduced. I think it would also be some really cool connective tissue to have a character like the Hulk be a villain, especially when some of the mutants in X-Men show up. I'm thinking that's much more likely the case than this just being talked about being in development and then squeezed somewhere into the brand new multiverse slate, even though, yes, they've kicked King Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars to 2026 and 2027 respectively. That obviously gives them 24 more months of real estate and release dates to work this film out. And obviously, if Captain America 4 does really well, and this is supposed to be that film's follow-up, you'd think they'd want to put it out. But to the contrary, I think it makes a lot more sense to extend this, have the Hulk be what he is as a part of the multiverse saga, and then maybe because of the events of that and Battle World, etc., they can then go into a World War Hulk storyline where he can end up being a villain in a phase that includes, like I said, again, the introduction of mutants, much in the same way we saw from Scarlet Witch's adaptation, where she was a member of the Avengers and then ended up being the villain in Multiverse of Madness as soon as we got to Phase 4. Now, obviously, this is great for a couple of immediate reasons. Number one, Mark Ruffalo will finally get to be the lead in his own Hulk film after being such an integral part to the MCU and for so long, and they can do a proper film for him and really focus on his character. But I think that's the real thing here, as that finally Marvel Studios is going to get a chance to redeem the Hulk character in a way that, well, I don't think there's many fans among us who were satisfied with his Professor Hulk outing. A lot of us really were hoping for a much higher level, power level Hulk during Avengers Endgame, and for him to get a rematch against Thanos, and obviously none of that happened. He was supposed to be Professor Hulk so that he could do the snap, but also the Russos just admitted that they felt like his character was too overpowered, so in the same way they made Carol Danvers go off-world for the entire film, they also turned the Hulk into something different that could serve the story in a different way. And you know what? For a movie that included Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man, the big three at the end versus Thanos, yeah, maybe there really wasn't a place for Hulk. But now it is completely all on the table, and I think obviously Marvel Studios has heard all of the fans over the last 4 or 5 years pretty displeased with where Hulk has been, and now we're going to turn around and do the antithesis of that and end up getting Worldbreaker Hulk. And if there are still some of you out there who are not sure what Worldbreaker Hulk actually is, this is the version of Hulk who, when due to some death of family members, stepped off of a spaceship and broke off the complete eastern seaboard and then commenced killing a ton of the Avengers, Mr. Fantastic. It is one of the craziest power level Hulks we have ever seen. And as I mentioned earlier in this video, while there are a lot of the pieces of the story that the MCU is not going to be able to touch because of where we are, the longer they wait to do this project, the closer they can get to it. And of course, there are some key elements of that storyline that I think they're lining up to have happen in the next Captain America film. But we will save that theory for a separate video and probably get that out this week. And also, guys, I'm going to have the interviews. I'm in LA. Sorry if the audio in this video is a little weird. I'm in LA right now. I just wrapped with my interview with Kingsley Ben-Adir, Gravik, and the director on Secret Invasion. Those will be up at the channel really soon, and we're going to be back to the watch parties next week when it finally goes live. In the meantime, quickly, let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments, how hype you are for the next Hulk project, what you'd like to see out of that film, and quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we are still giving away PlayStation 5s at the channel. The next one is right around the corner to coincide with Secret Invasion. Literally, we are a week away. So if you want to be entered to win, all you got to do, hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name All Fires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.